What I found is, at this point, the biggest threat to the lakes isn't industrial pollutions, the types of things that we had a half a century ago. It's biological pollution, and by that I mean it's outside species coming into the Great Lakes by a number of ways, primarily at this point via ocean-going shipping. They get here, they get discharged from ballast tanks, which are ballast tanks steady a ship in the open water, and that ballast water is exchanged for cargo when they arrive at a port like here in Milwaukee. And when they dump that water, it can be containing any number of living organisms, and some of them have had incredible environmental consequences for the lake, and it's happened very quickly. In a matter of 10 years, the quagga mussel now blankets this lake from shore to shore. And this isn't just any lake, this lake is 80 miles wide. That means you could walk from Milwaukee to Muskegon right now on a bed of quagga mussels at an average density of 5,000 per square meter, almost an impossible number to grasp. And they're feeding on plankton, which is the base of the food chain, which supports all the species above it, including some of our most prized fish species. In just a matter of about 5 years, they've turned Lake Michigan into a plankton desert. What makes reporting different on this story from any other story that I've covered is basically just the scope of it. It's as big as the lakes themselves. It's exactly how big it is. There are so many issues that we haven't even scratched the surface of yet. This isn't he said, she said journalism. These are complex ecological, social, and economic issues that all have to come together in a way that makes sense to both the people whose livelihoods depend on the lake and the people who love the lake for no other reason than they like the idea of it being there. What I've learned from this is how many people care about these lakes. For years people took them for granted, and I don't think they're doing that anymore. Carp that are swimming their way north up the Mississippi Basin and up the Chicago Canal system has been getting a lot of attention. I don't think it's just the story, I don't think it's even close to just the story that I've done. It's a big issue that a lot of media outlets are paying attention to now. But we've taken it a little further, and we're looking at what it'll take to actually solve the problem from a technical standpoint and an ecological standpoint. So yeah, we are getting some reaction. In the past, we've also gotten reaction, but not in the way you would expect from a lot of newspaper articles, because these aren't gotcha pieces. They're more explanatory than anything. So it's a matter of educating people, and once they get educated, then they can start demanding action. I don't consider myself an environmental reporter in the traditional sense. I think of myself more as a curious feature writer who doesn't like to take no for an answer if that's what it's going to take. When I moved back to Wisconsin after spending about a dozen years out west in Wyoming, Idaho, and Utah, I came back and I realized how much I missed the lakes, and I think that's really helped me with keeping focused on this issue, because it's something that I don't just professionally care about, it's something I personally care about.